is part 6 of set 8 of our values and majorship enhancement drills. Let's continue. Number 101. The values education approach that perceives human beings as interactive among themselves and with environmental concerns is known as blank. Letter A, active confrontation approach. Letter B, action learning approach. Letter C, active interchange approach. And letter D, action active approach. Ano daw? Ang tamang sagot ay letter B. The correct answer is B, action learning approach, because this method in values education perceives human beings as interactive beings, not only with one another, but also with their social and environmental concerns. Binibigyang diin ito yung learning, yung pagkatuto sa pamamagitan ng action, pagkilos, pag-solve ng mga problema, yung problem solving at reflection. Ini-encourage nito ang mga estudyante na maging engaged sa ethical, social, and environmental issues in a meaningful way. Ang active confrontation approach, yung letter A, this term is not widely recognized in values education. While confrontation can sometimes be part of ethical discussions, this approach does not emphasize the interactive nature of humans with the environment the way action learning does. So, that's why it's incorrect. Yung letter C naman, active interchange approach. So this term suggests dialogue or exchange of ideas, but it lacks the action-based, problem-solving, and experiential learning elements of action learning. So, simply discussing values without applying them in real life does not lead to deep moral development. Yung letter D naman, action active approach. This is not a recognized term in educational philosophy. Bagamat it suggests action-oriented learning, it lacks the structured, reflective, and problem-solving aspects that define the action learning. So, anong key takeaway natin dito? Yung action learning approach is correct because it recognizes that humans interact with both society and the environment, and that values are best learned sa pamamagitan ng ating mga karanasan, experiences, pagninilay-nilay, reflections, and real-world engagement. Yung approach na ito din nakakatulong sa mga estudyante na mapalago, ma-develop yung kanilang critical thinking, yung kanilang social responsibility at moral autonomy by encouraging them to engage with ethical and environmental concerns in a meaningful way. Lastly, the other options are either not recognized approaches or lack the experiential, interactive, and problem-solving components that define the action learning. So 101 is letter B. Number 102, for the valuing process, I ask my students, do you prefer this or that? Then, ask them to explain their answer. What valuing strategy did I use? Letter A, forced choice. Letter B, vocal voting. Letter C, values continuum. And letter D, values ranking. Ang tamang sagot dito ay letter A is the correct answer. Forced choice requires students to pick between two options and defend their decisions, promoting critical thinking and values clarification. Yung letter A, vocal voting, involves open polling, rather than decision making. Yung letter B pa rin, vocal voting. Yung letter C naman, values continuum, presents a range, not just two choices. May range of choices itong values continuum. Yung letter D naman, values ranking, tinatanong nito yung mga estudyante to prioritize values, not to make binary decisions. So number 102 ay letter A. 103, teacher path provided an activity wherein the class will play some role without any preliminary training or rehearsal in an artificial environment. What type of teaching method is applied? Letter A, simulation. B, interactive teaching. Letter C, team building. And letter D, problem solving. So, what's your answer, teacher? problem solving is wrong. So the answer is simulation. So letter A, simulation creates real-world scenarios where students must respond dynamically, enhancing learning through experience. So kay John Locke yan, ano yung experiential learning niya. Yung letter B, interactive teaching, is too broad and does not specifically involve role-playing. And yung letter C naman, team building, focuses on group cohesion, not scenario-based learning. And lastly, yung letter D, problem solving is more about cognitive challenges than immersive experience. So 103 is letter A. Number 104. Teacher Rene gives this statement to his class and asks his pupils to circle the one answer that best captures their view. Pupils today are motivated than pupils 10 or 20 years ago. You strongly disagree, agree, strongly agree. Then, Teacher Rene will count and tally how many said strongly agree, etc. He will also ask his students to explain their responses. Which evaluation technique did Teacher Rene use? Letter A, classroom opinion poll. Letter B, double entry journal. Letter C, ethical dilemma. At letter D, self-confidence survey. So, ang tamang sagot dito, what's your answer, teacher? Let's see if you got the correct answer. Ethical dilemma is wrong. It's letter A, classroom opinion poll. Did you get it? Okay, good job. An opinion poll collects students' perceptions in a structured manner, encouraging reflection and discussion. Yung letter B, double entry journal, involves writing reflections rather than polling. Yung letter C naman, ethical dilemma, presents moral situations, not survey-based responses. At yung letter D, self-confidence survey, measures self-esteem, not opinions. So 104 ay letter A. Number 105, what does the teacher do in the abstraction phase in the 4 A's of the experiential learning process? Letter A, assess students' learning. Letter B, leads the students to form generalization. Letter C, challenges students to reflect on the activity they have been through. And letter D, synthesizes and supplements what transpired in the activity and analysis phase. Your answer is letter B, leads the students to form generalization. So, yung abstraction phase synthesizes learning experiences into general principles, aligning with David Kolb's experiential learning cycle, yung concrete experience, reflective observation, abstract conceptualization, active experimentation. Yun yung experiential learning cycle. You can search that sa Google. Yung letter A, assess students' learning, is part of assessment, not abstraction. Yung letter C naman, challenges students to reflect. It happens in the analysis phase, not abstraction. At yung letter D, synthesizes and supplements. This is done in the application phase. Okay, so number 105 ay letter B. Number 106. Which statement best interprets what Alexander the Great wrote? I am not afraid of an army of lions led by a sheep. I am afraid of an army of sheep led by a lion. Letter A. Lions are more fearful than sheep. Letter B. The character of the leader reflects the character of the people led. Letter C. Gullible people are more easily deceived by a strong but misguided leader. And letter D. Sheep is a better leader than lion. And your answer should be letter. Did you get that? So 106 is B. The character of the leader reflects the character of people led. So, great leadership shapes the effectiveness and morale of a group, aligning with trait theory and transformational leadership ni Burns in 1978. Ang letter A, lions are more fearful than sheep, misinterprets the metaphor. Yung letter C naman, gullible people being deceived, focuses on manipulation, not leadership quality. At yung letter D, Sheep being better leaders contradicts the idea that strong leaders empower followers. So, for that reason, the answer sa 106 ay letter B. 107. I asked my students, how would you handle the situation as a spectator or as a participant? Then I provided them with a range of choices from strongly agree to disagree. Which valuing strategy did I use? Letter A, autobiographical questionnaire. Letter B, values continuum. C, values ranking. And letter D, forced choice. So your answer should be letter B, values continuum. Ang values continuum allows students to express opinions on a spectrum, encouraging reflection and discussion. Yung letter A, autobiographical questionnaire, involves personal reflections, not ranking. At yung letter C naman, values ranking, prioritizes ang values rather than showing degree of agreement. At yung letter D, forced choice, limits responses to 2 options rather than a range of options. So 107 ay letter B. Number 108, academic freedom for teacher and school officials should be able to blank. Letter A, expound new ideas. Letter B, conduct experiments on innovation secretly. Letter C, just be mum about your ideas when confronted by opposing sides. And letter D, discuss political issues with colleagues who shared the same ideas. And your answer should be letter D is wrong. Letter A is the correct answer. Expound new ideas. Yan yung ating freedom as academicians, ano? To expound new ideas the way we want it to be. Yung academic freedom protects innovation, critical thinking, and diverse perspectives as supported by John Stuart Mill's on liberty, and I think that's his work on liberty, and yung Article 14 ng ating Philippine Constitution. Yung letter B, conduct experiments secretly, suggests unethical practices. Yung letter C naman, staying silent, contradicts academic freedom. At yung letter D, discussing politics only with like-minded people, limits intellectual discourse. So 108 ay letter A. 109. The best indicator of an effective school program is blank. Letter A, improved guidance facilities. Letter B, observable changes in the student's behavior. Letter C, level of satisfaction of parents. And letter D, number of client beneficiaries. Your answer should be observable changes in the student's behavior. Well, behavioral change is most meaningful or meaningful measure of educational impact, aligning with Bloom's taxonomy and Kirkpatrick's model of evaluation. So, yung letter A, improve guidance facilities, support learning but do not measure success. Yung letter C naman, parent satisfaction is subjective. At yung letter D, number of beneficiaries, does not indicate quality. So, 109 ay letter B. 110. Which of the following is one of the major approaches in values education wherein the learner is interactive and the person and the environment are mutually co-creator? Letter A, values inculcation approach, action learning approach, cognitive moral development approach, and letter D, values clarification approach. Your answer should be cognitive moral development approach is wrong. It's letter B. Action learning approach. Action learning approach integrates reflection and real-world interaction, emphasizing constructivist learning ni Piaget and Vygotsky. Yung letter A, values inculcation, focuses on teaching predefined values, not interaction. Yung letter C naman, cognitive development ni Kohlberg, focuses on moral reasoning, not co-creation with environment. At lastly, yung values clarification sa letter D involves self-exploration, not environment-based learning. So 110 ay letter B. 111. The analysis portion of the experiential learning process of the ACEs approach has two phases, namely the effective and cognitive. To process affective learning, which one is appropriate? Letter A, lecturate. B, moral dilemma. C, lesson plan. And letter D, analysis. Ang sagot ay letter moral dilemma, B. The affective and cognitive experiential learning system, yung ACEs, emphasizes learning through both emotions, yung affective, and intellectual reasoning, which is cognitive. Ang moral dilemma is an appropriate tool for processing affective learning because it encourages students to reflect on emotions, values, and ethical decision making rather than just acquiring knowledge. So, yung halimbawa, presenting a scenario where a student must choose between honesty and loyalty could help develop emotional and moral intelligence sa mga bata. 'Di ba? Alin pipiliin mo, honesty or loyalty? Loyal ka sa friend, magte-test. So, yung friend mo kailangan ng sagot, papakopyahin mo ba? Loyal ka sa kanya? Or honest ka sa teacher or sa pag-take ng test na bawal magpa-kopya? Something like that. So, the student will be helped to develop emotional and moral intelligence with such an example. Yung letter A, lecturate. Lectures are passive and cognitive-based, not focused on emotional engagement. Yung letter C naman, lesson plan is a tool for teaching, not an activity for processing emotions. At yung letter D, analysis, is a cognitive process, not specifically for affective learning. 111 is B. 112. If a value is a thing of your choice, what question in their proper order should we ask? Did you choose it from among the alternatives? Did you choose it freely? Did you choose it after considering the consequences of your choice? Letter A, 321. B, 213. C, 231. And letter D, 1, 2, and 3. What's your answer, teacher? The answer should be letter B, 2, 1, and 3. Did you choose it freely? Did you choose it from among alternatives? Did you choose it after considering the consequences? So, yan yung kanyang pagkakasunod-sunod. So, this sequence aligns with Lewis Rat's values clarification theory. Si Lewis Rat's, yung kanyang values clarification theory. You can search that sa Google, yung values clarification theory ni Lewis Rat's. R-A-T-H-S. I believe, yeah. Rats. Hindi rat na na daga. May HS sa dulo. Rats. This values clarification theory states that true values must be chosen freely with awareness of consequences and among alternatives. So, Lewis, a professor of New York University in the mid-1950s, working with John Dewey's idea about the importance of values in education, developed for his classes materials and teaching strategies that got his students to think about what they prized in life. So Lewis and his colleagues explained the thinking that guide the strategy and what teachers have to do in using the approach. So valuing involves one's belief and behavior. So valuing means students engage in 7 processes. Yung choosing, number 1, choosing freely. Number 2, choosing from alternatives. Number 3, choosing after thoughtful consideration of consequences. Pang-4 na step yung prizing and cherishing one's choice. Pang-5 yung public affirming one's choices. Pang-6 yung acting on one's choices. At pang-7 yung acting with some patterns incorporating one's choices. So did you choose it freely? This question ensures autonomy, Did you choose it freely? Ikaw lang ba? May nagpilit pa sa'yo. Sunod, did you consider consequences? So, ini-encourage tayo na maging responsable. Kasi may options So, this question is very good because it encourages our students to become responsible with their choices. Kasi maraming choices sa buhay. It's a matter of choice sometimes. So, that question, did you consider consequences? Diba? Yun yung pangalawa dapat. Did you consider consequences? Did you choose it from among the alternatives? I mean, did you consider consequences? Did you choose among alternatives 2, 1, and 3? Did you choose among alternatives? Sandali lang. Choosing freely. So, dapat yung number 2, ano? And then, choosing from alternatives. Choosing from alternatives. That's number 1. And then, choosing after thoughtful consideration of consequences. Tama. 2, 1, and 3. Okay, so yung question na, did you choose among alternatives, confirms rational decision making. So, yung options A, B, and D, they mix up the logical order. It violates the core principles of values clarification. So, you can check sa Google Scholar yung research paper na the process of values clarification, formation, and inculcation. Sinulat ni Morad noong 2014. Published by Morad, M-U-R-A-D, published in 2014 sa journal na Pakistan Journal of Social and Clinical Psychology. Volume 2, issue number 2. Volume 12, issue number 2. So, doon yan nanggaling. Nakalagay doon yung order na yan. Okay? 2, 1, 3. Number 112 by letter B. Number 113. 112 pala yun. 112. Next, 113. What learning experience development program intends to inculcate dignity of labor and efficient work habits and skills? Letter A, agricultural extension classes. Letter B, work-oriented curriculum. Non-graded instruction, manpower development training. So, what's your answer, teacher? Your answer should be letter B, work-oriented curriculum. So, this approach integrates practical, vocational, and technical skills into education, ensuring that students develop work ethics and labor dignity. Halimbawa, technical vocational livelihood, yung TVL natin sa senior high, diba? Andyan yan. Incorporated yung mga sinasabi sa item na to. Yung letter A, agricultural extension classes, focuses only on farming, not a general work-oriented curriculum. Yung letter C, non-graded instruction, focuses on student progression, not work ethics. At yung letter D, focuses more on employment rather than values formation. So, 113 ay letter B. Number 114. The following are the expected scope of the teaching learning process in values education, except letter A, learner conforms to the ideas and opinions of the majority. B, involves not just cognitive but all the faculties of the learner. C, involves only the appetitive faculty of the learner. And letter D, has direct and immediate relevance to the personal life of the learner. So, alin dyan yung exemption? Diba? Lahat yan na expected scope of the teaching learning process in values education maliban sa letter C. Involves only the appetitive faculty of the learner. Values education is holistic, so don't forget that. Meaning, it engages all aspects of human faculties. Cognitive, affective, and volitional, yung will. So, the appetitive faculty refers only to emotions and desires, which alone cannot fully develop moral and ethical reasoning. So, values formation requires both rational thought and emotional engagement, as emphasized in John Dewey's experiential learning theory and Lawrence Kohlberg's moral development theory. So, students should not simply react emotionally but critically evaluate moral issues and make reasoned ethical choices. Itong letter A, learner conforms to the ideas and opinions of the majorities. This is the best distractor here. Sometimes, we can accept this, although it is vague, However, take note that conforming alone is not the goal, but considering societal norms while applying critical thinking is part of values education. However, values education should encourage independent moral reasoning, not blind conformity. But still, we can tolerate the option A, since yung mga bata naman inasa elementary pa halimbawa, so they usually conform to the majority, which in the stage of elementary level, the majority is in the moral mainstream societal norms. Okay, yung the option B involves not just cognitive but all faculties of the learner. So, it correctly describes values education. It integrates cognitive, affective, and behavioral aspects. Yung letter D naman has direct and immediate relevance to the personal life of the learner. So, this is accurate because values education connects to real-life moral dilemmas and personal decision-making. So, lastly, values education should engage all faculties, not just emotions, but also reason and moral will. Encourage independent moral reasoning, not just conformity, and should be relevant to real-life situations, making values application meaningful. So, 114 ay letter C. Number 115. A scheme in values integration utilizing the subject matter or the activity undertaken to emphasize value concept the teacher wishes to bring about or reinforced among the learners. Letter A, natural integration. B, partial horizontal integration. Letter C, eclectic integration. And letter D, unnatural integration. So the answer should be natural integration. This occurs when values are organically embedded in the subject matter without forcefully inserting them. Halimbawa, teaching environmental responsibility during a science lesson about climate change. So dito, natural lang na maipasok yung values na environmental responsibility kasi ang topic natin ay climate change. So that's natural integration. Yung partial horizontal integration, it is limited to one or few subjects, not across curricula. At yung eclectic integration uses varied strategies, but it lacks spontaneity of natural integration. So 115 ay letter A. 116, in the school within the school approach, the practical application of knowledge takes place in the blank. Letter A, home. B, office. C, community. And letter D, school program. Your answer should be letter D, school program. School program. The school within the school, SWAS. This school within a school approach is an educational innovation where students engage in practical applications of knowledge within a structured school program rather than external settings like home, office, or community. So this method integrates experiential learning into formal education that allows students to apply theoretical concepts through specialized programs, laboratories, or simulated environments within the school itself. Yung K-12 basic education curriculum natin also emphasizes applied learning through its technical vocational livelihood, yung TVL track, work immersion program, and special program of the arts and sports, where students engage in real-world tasks while still within the controlled and supervised school environment. Okay, so yung home, office, and school program are not the primary environments for school within the school experiential learning approach. Okay, so number 116 ay letter D. Number 117. Nepotism is common because of the Filipino trait of blank. Letter A, ningas kugon. This is ningas kugon, hindi ningat. Letter B, close family ties. C, bahala na. And letter D, pakikisama. The answer is letter B, close family ties. Sa kultura ng mga Pilipino, malakas ang pagpapahalaga sa pamilya, kaya madalas na inuuna ang mga kamag-anak sa pagbibigay ng oportunidad kabilang na ang trabaho, 'di ba? Mga position sa government, sa offices. Nako, talamak 'yan. Yan? Nepotism ang tawag diyan, Yung mga kapamilya muna ang bibigyan ng posisyon sa gobyerno bago yung iba. Pag wala na, ubos na ang kamag-anak na sa posisyon. Yun, ayon sa value system ng mga Pilipino, ang malapit na ugnayan nating mga magkakamag-anak ay nagiging dahilan ng nepotismo or nepotism, kung saan ang isang tao ay nagbibigay ng pabor o posisyon sa isang kamag-anak sa halip na sa mas kwalipikadong kandidato. Diba? Papaboran mo lang ang kapamilya. Yan ang nepotism. Yung ningas kugon, tumutukoy ito sa ugali natin na mabilis na pagsisimula ng isang bagay, ngunit hindi ito natatapos, hindi nasusustain. Kaya hindi ito direktang konektado sa nepotismo. Yun namang letter C, bahala na. Ito ay may kinalaman sa pagpapabaya o pag-asa sa kapalaran. Fatalism. Hindi sa pagpili ng mga kamag-anak sa trabaho. At yung letter D, pakikisama. Baka pakikisama ang sinagot mo, ha? Bagamat may kaugnayan sa relasyon sa iba, ito ay mas nakatuon sa pag-iwas sa alitan sa loob ng grupo kaysa sa pagbibigay ng trabaho sa pamilya. Kaya ang 117 ay letter B. 118. Teacher Bernard wants to integrate values on his lesson in literature. The technique to use is blank. Letter A. Present a short poem for class discussion. B. Assign the class to collect poems. Letter C. Require the class to write poems. And letter D. Read a poem in class. So the answer is letter A. Present a short poem for class discussion. So, class discussion encourage deeper analysis and moral reflection. Halimbawa, discussing Jose Rizal's poetry to explore nationalism. Halimbawa, ang huling pahimakas ni Rizal. Pwede yan, mga ganon. Yung iba kasi, yung B and C and D involve passive activities and they lack deeper moral engagement. So, 118 ay letter A. 119. Developing more complex moral reasoning patterns through successive and sequential stages among learners may be best stimulated through blank. Letter A. Cognitive development approach, developmental theory, moral dilemma strategy, moral development approach. Your answer should be letter C. Moral dilemma strategy. So, inspired by Lawrence Kohlberg's moral development theory, presenting dilemmas challenges students to think beyond personal perspectives. Yung other options focus on theories rather than specific strategies. So 119 ay letter C. 120. The value use education method that uses expressive and communication techniques such as speaking, writing, prose, problems, and plays, or painting, composing, and other arts is called blank. Letter A. Rational moralistic approach. B. Affective experimental approach. C. Dogmatic experimental approach. And letter D. Emotional rational approach. Your answer should be emotional rational approach is wrong. It should be letter B. Affective experimental approach. Did you get it? Good job. So this method engages students emotionally and expressively, ensuring deep personal reflection on values. Halimbawa, role-playing, social justice issues. So, mga ganun. Role-playing social justice issues. Ang other options are incorrect. Yung rational moralistic approach is too focused on logic. It lacks emotional engagement. Yung letter C naman, dogmatic experimental approach. Dogmatic methods are rigid, masyadong stricto ito, and not exploratory. Yung letter D naman, emotional rational approach, this is not a recognized term in values education. So 120 is letter B. That's part 6 of set 8 of our values ed majorship enhancement drills. Let's continue in the next video.